Hi, this is Kevin, and today we're going to talk about Agile Software Development.
A long time ago, software was written much like how a building was designed. Business folks and technical folks gathered and designed the system up front. Everything was planned. This was called the waterfall approach. There was a requirements gathering session, and a requirements document was produced. Then the technical documentation was written up. Finally, after that was complete, the system was actually developed. There were several issues. First, the time it took from writing the requirements to actual delivery was too long. By the time the software was developed, the business need was no longer there. This led to the canceling of many projects. Sometimes, during the actual implementation of the system, tiny little things cropped up. Some of the requirements was contradictory or unclear, or some of the technical requirements that people thought were possible then weren't possible anymore. So there was a lot of waste because the things that were discovered later in the project didn't conform to what was originally designed. Then, in February of 2001, 17 developers came and met in a cabin in Utah to talk about this problem, and to ski and hang out, of course. These developers were basically industry thought leaders who came up with alternative ways to implement software efficiently.
These 17 developers came together and wrote this document called the Manifesto for Agile Software Development, and they started popularizing it.
Here is the manifesto. Individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Working software over comprehensive documentation. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Responding to change over following a plan. That is, while there is value in the items on the right, we value the items on the left more.
What is Agile anyway? What's its purpose? Well, Agile is a set of principles that allow you to develop software efficiently.
So instead of an organization making plans for something a year from now, and then implementing it and delivering it after 1 year, you want your software team to be flexible and be able to make quick changes based on the external environment and requirements. Agile basically means the ability to change or adapt quickly. So you see the term Agile misused a lot. Like, look, we're doing a daily stand-up. We're Agile. Or like, look, we have a backlog. Look how agile we are. While those tools do assist in making teams agile, just because a team is doing them doesn't necessarily mean that they are an agile software team.
Another thing that came out of that meeting in Utah is the 12 Agile Principles. These principles are what drove the Agile Manifesto I mentioned earlier. An agile software team follows these Agile Principles. What are those principles? Let's go through them.
Principle number 1, customer satisfaction by early and continuous delivery of valuable software. This means software is delivered early and at a regular pace, not like a year from now. Principle number 2, welcome changing requirements even in late development. This means requirements can change at any time, and development needs to somehow account for it. This is in contrast to back then when all requirements are frozen once development starts. Principle number 3, deliver working software frequently. Kind of self-explanatory. Principle number 4, close and daily cooperation between business and developers. This ensures that there is no gap or surprises between the business and development staff. Principle number 5, build projects around motivated individuals and give them the support that they need and trust them to get the job done. Motivated developers and trust from management typically means that the work produced is better quality software. This is because there is ownership and pride in the software team in a job well done. Motivated developers imbued with trust from management and given necessary resources tend to stay around longer and learn their craft better. It's typically a sign of a healthy organization and a good place to work. Principle number 6, face-to-face communication is the best form of communication. Yes, so instead of sending an email to somebody, why not just go over there and talk to them? This is probably all going to change because of the COVID, but you get the idea. Principle number 7, working software is the primary measure of progress. Again, kind of self-explanatory. Principle number 8, sustainable development, able to maintain a constant pace. Software development is kind of like a marathon. You want a constant pace. You don't want to sprint at the beginning of the marathon only to be exhausted in the middle and not make it at the end. Principle number 9. Continuous attention to technical excellence and good design. This is another important point. Developers need time to go back to the software and continuously refactor and change it to make it better. Oftentimes, the thought is that once the software is written, it's done. That's usually not the case, especially for complex software. There's always refactoring, reworking, and additional unit tests that can be written. Principle number 10. Simplicity. The art of maximizing the work not done is essential. Principle 11. Best architectures come from self-organizing teams. This is a kind of interesting subject. If you have a very, very large organization, then it doesn't make sense to have the architecture of your software system dictated by someone in a completely different department. They might not know all the specifics that your software system would need. On the other hand, you can't just put a team together and say, quick, develop the system and the architecture now. Some planning and some thought has to be in place, unless the organization is willing to spend time to refactor over and over again and update the project to reach that continuous excellence. Principle number 12. At regular intervals, the team reflects on how to be more effective and then adjusts its behavior accordingly. This time allows the team to reflect and make changes with how it does things. It also prevents the team from doing the wrong thing over and over again.
A lot of popular software development frameworks is derived from Agile, such as Scrum, Kanban, and so on. Well, that's all I have about Agile. Please like and subscribe my videos. I hope you had a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.